Ladies and gentlemen, the following episode is scheduled for one fall. Coming down the aisle are your hosts of In The Kliq, Baby Huey and Ryan Tronic.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my tag team partner from the Fight Game Media podcast and also the Take It Home podcast. It's John LaRocca. How's it going, man?
What's up, man? You hit me up. You said, LaRocca, are you down to record? I said, Baby Huey, let's do it. I'm watching this Royal Rumble thing live, and let's talk about it.
Absolutely. No, thank you for making the hot tag and stepping in for Brian Tronic tonight. I know it was a last minute request on my part, so I appreciate you filling in last minute for this. And no, it's exciting stuff. So yeah, tonight, it's been a minute since I've got to do like a live immediate review right after a big show. So the fact that I was home tonight watching it live, you're watching it live, it was just perfect. The stars are aligned. You and I are able to record again. It's been a minute. Well, actually, let's see. A couple weeks ago, I was on your podcast, the Take It Home podcast. So please subscribe to the Fight Game Media podcast. Subscribe to the Take It Home podcast. Amazing stuff that you guys put out there. So fun conversation we had. I always love talking with you. So like I said, stars are aligned that you and I are able to record together. So this is going to be our Royal Rumble review. So much to talk about, man. Emotions, everything. So much to get into with all this.
I felt the same way watching Hardy.
We're going to talk about, yes, we got to talk about that.
Well, you weren't talking about Hardy.
Just,
actually, you know what? I was like, what the hell am I listening to? I was texting you because you're the music expert, so I had to hit you up right away. I mean, I was like begging for Jeff Hardy's music.
I'd rather watch Jeff Hardy's band.
yeah. Whatever he says, I don't even know what it is.
But no, okay, yeah, we'll jump into that real quick. Yeah, so I knew Hardy was going to perform. He's been his song was the theme song for the Royal Rumble this year, and he's been all over the advertisements on Raw and SmackDown for weeks, and if not for the last month or so. He made an appearance on Raw not too long ago when they were in Nashville, and then yes, he was ringside, and it was announced he was going to perform at the Royal Rumble. It's like, oh, cool, all this stuff, and then when I saw the order of, the itinerary for the show tonight, that a performance was going to be like right before the main event, I'm like, okay, that's going to be interesting. And then, the actual performance, right before the main event in the ring. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm down for a live rock performance. I know Hardy's more known for country, but this latest single has that crossover with the rock genre. So he's getting love, which is a smart move financially or business wise, that you get airplay on the country station and on like the quote active rock stations. So, the single I've been hearing, it's rocking. So it was interesting to see how this performance was, but man, that mix was horrible. Like the song.
Give us a technical breakdown of this.
So I listen, I know, mixing, a live performance can be tough, Super Bowl, award shows, all this different, performances for a live band. It can be tough to get that right level compared to like the studio version, the studio quality of a song. And so I know it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to sound just like the record unless they're lip syncing. But as soon as he starts playing, I know they're inside in San Antonio at the whatever stadium they were at. Alamodome. And I know things are going to echo and stuff like that. But man, whoever mixed that or the settings was off. Like that song, the studio version, it has a large, like just drum sound that just kind of that thumping that gets you going through that song, the energy. You could barely hear the drums. And then the guitars were sounding a little low too, and the bass, and his vocals were way high. So he was drowning out his whole band. So I was just like, just didn't sound that good. Like, I don't know that guy that well, but his music career. I know he's done a lot of writing for other bands too. So that's his also big claim is he's a great songwriter. But man, I felt bad for him. Just whoever mixed this, it didn't come off that well. So
we'll just blame what's his name? Kevin
Dunn.
Kevin.
Yeah, it's Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn was responsible for this one.
Yes. I blame him. Yes. Everything technical issues tonight was all Kevin Dunn's fault.
If we didn't have the main event left, I was kind of praying for Brock Lesnar to bring out the bulldozer and just dump them all. Just shit.
Well, okay, so let's jump right into it. As far as, okay, I'll start with you. Just your overall thoughts, your takeaways, just of this year's Royal Rumble.
The whole pay-per-view itself?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I had a great time watching it. I thought it was really good. I mean, not every match was great, but overall, I thought everything that was what they needed to accomplish, they accomplished, and got me really excited for the WWE product right now. I think they're hitting on all cylinders and going into Elimination Chamber in about 3 weeks, and then WrestleMania soon after that. So that's gonna be a big 2-night event. So yeah, I think this is WWE's at their best when it's the road to WrestleMania season, right? And this has been just a great year so far.
Yeah, I've been talking to some coworkers and stuff and trying to tell people this is my favorite time of the year to be a wrestling fan. We are on the road to WrestleMania, from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, the next little over 2 months of WWE television. It's just going to be so much fun. The build up, the anticipation. I'm so excited. Cannot wait. And yeah, Royal Rumble kicks that off. And so I was excited for this one. It's the first Royal Rumble with Triple H, head of creative. It's his first Royal Rumble to do so. So I was curious how this was going to play out with him in charge and, set up storylines for the next couple months and start building up matches for, Elimination Chamber and also, WrestleMania. So I had a lot of fun watching it. Both Royal Rumble matches I thought were great in different ways. The matches in between those two can be questionable. We'll get into all that. And then the main event, oh God, the dramatics, the storytelling from the match itself to the very end. I have not felt an emotional roller coaster in a long time for pro wrestling, watching pro wrestling. I felt like a teenager again, like during the Attitude Era and like the various things going on there. So, no, thank you, Triple H and the powers that be who put this show together. So that's why I watch it.
I went into it because it's just, I usually go for big pay-per-views like this. I usually go to Meltzer's house, right?
Yeah.
With everyone. But we had like a late kid birthday party and, I didn't want to be on, Doghouse City for like, I got to just take off and go to watch Royal Rumble. So, but I'm like, I'm going to chill out. I'm going to chill out at home, kick back. And I just like went into it without the critical mind, I just like, I'm just going to watch and enjoy. And it was a lot of fun. No one else watched it. I mean, the kids were playing. No one got into it, but it's just me, myself, and I.
Okay. I was going to ask you real quick. I was going to ask you off the air, but I'll ask you right now. Is your oldest daughter, is she the one that was a big Rhea Ripley fan?
Yeah, she just had no interest this time to check it out for some reason. So that's probably a good thing because she doesn't know Rhea Ripley's a heel. Okay. So I might have crushed her heart. So, I mean, she kind of like passed by the TV and looked a couple times and there's Rhea right there, but I don't know. Maybe Rhea has tweaked her look just a bit since last time she saw her, so she might not have noticed us. But they're busy with their toys. Christmas is still not that far from us, and they're still playing with toys and stuff. And
me too. Literally, I got seriously. I got my new action figures. I've been playing with my new wrestling figures, so awesome. I know that feeling. but no, in the overall, very fun show, and it was kind of crazy just seeing like my fellow media people that I know who were covering the event for the last couple of days, just all their coverage. I was trying to watch some of that stuff, and so. I felt was it FOMO, fear of missing out? I felt that today. I was like, oh man, I wish I was there doing interviews right now. But I got a budget to work with, so I'm saving all my resources for WrestleMania, especially being in LA. It'd be easier to get down there and cover and all that stuff. And that's the biggest show of the year, so might as well put all my efforts there. But the Royal Rumble, that's it's the only Big Four show I've not been to. I've been to WrestleMania.
Finally got to go. San Jose, 98?
No.
Wow. How old were you in 98?
I know, 98. So what, January 98. So what, 97? I was 14.
Yeah, so I'm surprised. You weren't there.
Yeah.
I'm on camera the whole time on the hard cam, opposite hard cam with my Promo Azteca sweater.
You are?
I mean, Gabe Ramirez and his cousin Cesar Ramirez and their buddy Andy were just like right there. Watching on opposite hard cam the whole time.
So you got to see Stone Cold win his first Rumble.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
Was that yeah, he won that was his first Rumble win. Wait.
No, second, because he
second
won
97.
97, yeah.
Yeah.
But we saw the preview of The Rock versus Austin and all that, that big finish. It was good. It was a good show. It was fun. I had to rewatch it recently because we just did Raw 98 review with Garrett on our Fight Game Media Patreon, $5 a month if you want to subscribe. And then Garrett and I reviewed that pay-per-view. It was fun to look back on that show.
So if I was able to pop that on Peacock right now, I can clearly see you on TV.
Yeah. We're like, I want to say about 10 or 12 rows below Mike Tyson, who was in Skybucks above us. Yeah. So I remember everyone freaking out, and people were like I was like passing up like merchandise for people to sign, like for Tyson to sign, like just send it up. Hey, have him sign this and send it back down. It was crazy.
You should get like a pay cut. Be like, no, $5 if you want me to pass it up there. No.
And I remember walking down. I think I got like a hot dog or something or soda.
Okay.
I remember walking down. I looked just. Tyson's here, like in the booth. Like I didn't even think about it. It was a fun time. I'm surprised you were at that show. I'm kind of shocked.
I know. Yeah, I was 14 in that point. At that part of my life, I was very much busy with like basketball and stuff. And January is basketball season, so I probably was busy with school and basketball. So as a 14-year-old, my life was pretty busy at that point. Let's see. So San Jose. SAP Center. Oh. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, wow. Oh my God. I'm looking at just on Wikipedia right now.
And I want to say
January 18th, 1998.
Yeah. I want to say the house show before, because usually they have a house show and they're like, on sale at intermission is going to be tickets for Royal Rumble, you're their first come, first serve with the house show. And I think that was the show that Owen Hart and Mick Foley decided to have the popcorn hardcore match. Hitting each other with hardcore parkour, selling big old bags of popcorn shots and I think that's the show too, as well as a fan in attendance gave Mick Foley a hardcore title, which turned into the hardcore title. Like the idea of making this a real title was from San Jose.
Okay. Not the actual title became the one we saw on TV, but just inspired him.
Yeah, inspired the creative and everything. Yeah.
What? That's awesome. Oh man. So no, you believe me, I've kicked myself that in my high school and college years, I didn't get to go see Stone Cold live and in person during his, peak era, his big run.
So you didn't make it to the house show after WrestleMania 98 then?
No.
That was okay. So that show, the main event was Steve Austin versus Triple H.
Okay.
And that to this day, Steve Austin coming out is the loudest pop I've ever heard in my life.
At a house show too?
It was sold. I'm pretty sure it was sold out. It must have been because
where was it at?
Was on fire. SAP.
Okay.
And he came out, and it was just like I felt like the whole SAP was shaking, dude. I had the chills like from my feet all the way up to my neck, and I felt it everywhere. It was amazing. And then when he hit the stunner. And like people were like in sync with this match. And right when he hit the center, like all of a sudden it's like all the flashlights are going off and it just looked amazing. Like it was like slow motion.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, so the point being, since I never got to see him live during his, prime years or his big run, there was no way I was going to miss WrestleMania last year in Dallas. And I think I told you that before. So I was very happy to finally in person hear the glass shatter, watch him come down to the ring, have a match with Kevin Owens. And,
it was a good match too. It was a great match, actually. I love that match.
So I'm just very happy, like for me, personally, just to say I got to see my favorite wrestler at least once in person. So no, it was very, very happy for that. But so that's the thing. No, Austin. I mean, that was the big rumor that he might make an appearance tonight at the Royal Rumble. And didn't get to see him. Well, I think a lot of people were predicting that because, he's been working out and putting stuff on social media and it's in Texas, in San Antonio specifically. But, I still hopeful maybe he'll have one more WrestleMania match. I'm kind of on the fence if I want that to actually happen because I thought the way it ended last year, perfect conclusion to wrap up his career, his story, come out of retirement, 19 years later.
Yeah.
And, beat up Kevin Owens, pick up the win, stun Vince McMahon one more time the next night in his home state. Perfect way to end it. So I don't know if I like push your luck and do it again this year, WrestleMania in LA. But then again, listen, I know money talks, and he's probably thinking retirement money to last him for the next X amount of years of his life. So
Broken
I can't blame a person.
It's been canceled for a while,
Yes. I know the podcast as well. Yeah.
And I don't mean to jump on your review of the Rumble, but you look at the men's Rumble and the women's Rumble. This is what I really liked about this Rumble. And I really liked about Triple H's direction here.
Okay.
It was the fact that the men's Rumble, we had one legend surprise, Booker T, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's harmless. It's fun. It's San Antonio. It's Texas. He's from there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't overshadow the current stars.
Bingo.
Same thing with the women's Rumble with Michelle McCool. Again, lives there. It's cute. She came out. She was with her kids. She didn't overshadow anyone of the current stars in the Rumble. That's what I was like really proud of, really happy about seeing, because a lot of times in the past with Vince McMahon's direction, it's always like we have to go these past stars, and the current stars are the short end of stick. But this time it was a focus on current stars, and I really like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And so I was looking on Twitter and the reaction, and it seemed like 50-50. Like people really loved it, and people were like, it was okay, mediocre. But wow. I think the reaction is some of them were like, man, there's not enough surprise entries. There's like, no Austin, no Rock. People thought maybe Great Muta was going to show up. No Jay White. Like
Muta.
Yeah, they all thought like, maybe people were predict or trying to guess like, okay, maybe that's the trade with Shinsuke going over to Noah in Japan to fight Muta. The return is like, okay, the return trade bargain is Muta will come make a Royal Rumble appearance. That's just fantasy booking.
Well, he is a legend, but he would also be, I guess, technically a current star. But I was kind of hoping and keep my fingers crossed. I wanted to kind of see Randy Orton come back.
Yeah,
but I know he had a serious, back injury and surgery. But it was just like, I hope, he was be able to come back, and because I miss that guy.
And going off that, I was kind of hopeful maybe Big E as well, but
yes,
I know
with New Day's first, I was hoping that too. Yeah, me too.
I was hopeful like, okay, we'll hear the New Day theme song 3 times tonight. Yeah, no, we didn't get it, and I get it. The neck was a very serious injury, and I think the reports are they want to wait a full year since he didn't have surgery. They want to do a full year of just recovery and stuff. So I think that'll be March will be a full year before they decide what's next for him in his career. But yeah, no other big surprises. But I'm with you. I like that in the past, sometimes the big surprises overshadow the match. And I like how both Royal Rumbles was focused, like you said, on the current stars, the current roster, and told a lot of individual stories there. And you can make the argument a lot of those moments in these matches are setting up future storylines and feuds for leading up to Elimination Chamber, and even after that for WrestleMania. And that's how you build stars for the next generation or this generation. Yeah. Like you said, they can only go into the well so many times, or the Attitude Era, and now even the Ruthless Aggression Era. Those guys are getting older, and there's only so many times you can ask them to make an appearance, and before it just gets kind of stale and boring. It's like, I've seen this guy so many times make a comeback. It's like, push the current roster. So I'm with you. I agree with you 100% on that. So I'm trying to think any of the other major takeaways. Yeah, like I said, the ending of this show, like the dramatics, all that stuff. So let's, go ahead and jump right into it. I guess I want to ask you your quick little thoughts. So 5 matches for the show. What did you think about the order of the matches? I know I tried my best to stay off social media today before the show, the spoilers, but some people texted me the lineup for the show tonight. So quick rundown, as you all know, they said the men's Royal Rumble match opened the show. Then it was going to be the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, then the women's title match, then the women's Royal Rumble match, and then the main event for the title. What'd you think about that order? I think a lot of people were kind of shocked that the men's Royal Rumble was going to open up.
Yeah, I was off social media all day, and like I said, I was at a kid's birthday party beforehand, and so I wasn't on my phone looking at social media. I'm glad I didn't. You know, I went into it just being surprised. And I remember like thinking in my head, like, okay, if the party goes long, I'll miss part of the women's rumble and won't be that upset, you know. But then I was like relieved, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm glad we got here up home on time because the men's rumble opened, and I was kind of shocked. I'm like, wow. Then I thought, like, okay, they're probably doing this because Sammy's definitely not in the rumble. Mm-hmm. They don't want to disappoint, you know. They don't want if they're going to be disappointed, they'll be early and they'll be done right by the time they get. So, but I honestly, everyone like on social media, all you hear people like Sammy should win it. Sammy should win it. I felt at least I was watching the Rumble, the men's Rumble. No one was chanting for Sammy to be in it or his number, you know, whatever. I think they were very happy with the inclusion of the Rumble. So
yeah, I mean, that was my thing too. Was I was concerned about this Royal Rumble where. Listen, for the last 6 months, I think everyone wanted Cody Rhodes to win. But then the last month, how much the Bloodline storyline has taken off, become so much popular. And Sammy as a character is taking off. It's very reminiscent of Kofi Mania a few years ago, where this one character, this one wrestler's storyline has become so organically over that people want this person to be successful and become world champion, or, you know, in this case, want Sammy to win the Royal Rumble. My fear was Cody wins. He's going to get that Batista Royal Rumble I think it was 2014 treatment where people started booing him because they wanted Daniel Bryan to be out there and he wasn't in the match. So I was worried if Sammy doesn't win, will Cody get booed when it's not his fault? Like he still has his own story he needs to tell. So I'm glad, you know, they kind of laid everything out as they did, having the men's Royal Rumble match first. Get that out of the way with Cody winning. It's like, and no Sammy appearance there. It's like they did their best to just separate all that. And I'm glad they got that done out of the way. It's like, hey, we're getting this over with. Just to let you know, no Sammy here. And did you see the kickoff show as far as the little skit or, you know, backstage segment with the Bloodline kind of setting things up?
No, I missed all that. The time I got there, was kind of closing. The time I turned it on Peacock, they were just Lawler and all those, the panel was closing up. And I saw right before that great, they played it again in the pay-per-view, but that great video package of the Bloodline, Sammy, KO storyline, it was just, I mean, I'm not hating on AEW here, but I'm saying, but there's a definitely number one and a clear number two. And it's not bad to be number two in the pro wrestling business, right? But I'm saying like people are just like, this is going to overtake WWE. No, this is like, next level stuff. This whole production was fantastic, I thought.
Yeah, it's, you know, those little things, video packages, productions add so much to a storyline. And, you know, for us as, you know, TV movie fans and get invested in storylines and characters, those elements, you know, hooks us in even more and gets us more emotionally involved in these storylines. But just to sum it up real quick, so I tuned in late too, but luckily when I turned on Peacock, it was the backstage segment. Long story short, Roman Reigns said, you know, your assignment tonight, Sammy, is to stay with me on my hip. You're not going anywhere. You're just going to be with me the whole time. And Jay was explaining himself for his actions last night on SmackDown, where he called Sammy back to the arena, even though he was, Roman told him on Monday, I don't want to see you till Saturday. Don't even show up to SmackDown. But Jay on Friday last night, we saw he called them when the Usos got kicked out of the arena. Jay called Sammy and said, hey, come back to the arena and help, you know, a Solo with his match against Kevin Owens. So Jay, you know, overridden Roman's request and made Sammy come back. And so Jay was explaining himself, dude, you were on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. You were in New York trying to call you. You're on your private jet. You weren't answering. So I just made the call to have Sammy come back. And then Roman's like, all right, I get it. Well, look, that's in the past now. Let's focus on tonight. The mission is to win. Sammy, your job tonight is just to be with me. You're not going anywhere. You're going to be on my hip all night. So that's their way of kind of writing him off from not being in the Royal Rumble, which I was like, smart. Just get it out there. And then I think with that being known, people's expectations of Sammy showing up in the Royal Rumble wasn't there. So therefore would not overshadow Cody Rhodes' eventual win, which I think, you know, for Triple H and everyone, that was a great way just to kind of keep Cody Rhodes' moment special. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the men's Royal Rumble match kicked off the show. I was excited just to kind of see how this is going to lay out. I was excited that Gunther and Sheamus enter as the first 2 entries. Gunther number 1, Sheamus number 2. Immediately call back to Clash at the Castle. I was going to be, oh my God, here we are. We're going to get these 2 guys going at it again. We got a little bit. I mean, they only got what? Wait, is it a minute and a half, 90 seconds in between entries?
Whatever they decided. Whatever they decide at the moment, right? But yeah, I've been a long time since I've done that making sure they're on time kind of deal. But yeah, it was fun. You know, it's you want to start off hot, and then you have Gunther come out, and then of course you want his rival, right? His now famous rival, and at least the main roster, Sheamus. And I was pumped, dude. I had goosebumps because I get pumped when I know the performers are pumped, right?
Yeah.
When you can see Sheamus is just like feeling it, right? And that crowd was awesome. I mean, I big respect to that crowd. I thought, one, they didn't hijack the show and do stuff. You know, they were with everything. I like that. And
also, shout out Sheamus. It is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Sheamus. 45 years old, I believe. So he's probably got a little extra pep in his step. It's his birthday. He's going to get a beating from Gunther right now. So great way to celebrate right now. But so yeah, for the couple minutes of them by themselves in the ring, they try to go at it a little bit. Miz comes in at number 3, and he's like hesitant to come in, but he finally gets in there, and Gunther starts laying into them, into Miz. That was cool. Kofi comes in at number 4, and Kofi's having fun in the ring, and should we talk about his elimination right now, or his botch elimination? So
yeah, I'm guessing there was more to it, right?
Yeah. So just jumping ahead, when he got eliminated by Gunther, he was supposed to, I guess, jump and fall back and spin around. And I guess Xavier's supposed to hold the chair, the commentator chair, and he was going to land in it and I guess probably get pushed back in. Unfortunately, when he spun and rotated, he crashed into the chair and fell right to the ground. The chair fell over. It looked like it hurt, like just landing on that chair awkwardly. But is this
the telling sign to me was that he wasn't supposed to get eliminated. There was like they're already trying to. Well, he's 1 foot still not on the floor, and then and all of a sudden I think Corey's like, he's eliminated, right? But it's okay. That's one of those things. Like, hey, if it goes awry, it's okay. You're not winning anyways. We just keep going.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure on the fly they maybe adjust a couple things because maybe his elimination was going to be later in the match, but adjust accordingly on the fly, a little improv. But was this the second year in a row that he botched? Because didn't he get eliminated? Was it last year?
I mean, maybe I want to say it's during the Thunderdome era. Might have been.
Okay, maybe it was
Thunderdome era. He was trying to climb the wall, hit the wall, and he fell down, or something crazy. I will say this: so we talked about Miz came out number 3, and he was the first one eliminated, and fairly quickly. And I thought that was also telling by Triple H.
Oh, really?
Because, well, Miz has been a long time guy on the roster, and kind of like that, we're moving into a new phase of new stars, right? In my opinion. And Miz is in that older group of stars. And I thought I was telling, like, okay, we're going more future. I think there's a lot of the future was on this show when it came to who's getting moments and stuff. And I thought that was very telling. And Miz is a perfect guy to do that with because, one, it's the Miz. He's untouchable. You know what I mean? Like, he's fine. Like, he's fine. Like, I thought he was fantastic for a short time there, getting beat up and bounced around by Walter and Sheamus. I thought he was great. Yeah,
well, that's what I was going to say. Triple H's guys from NXT over the years, they all had strong performances there, like Triple H's kids. And we'll go through that, some classic examples here. But yeah, shout out also Miz. This was his 14th Royal Rumble, and then Kofi was his 15th. So yeah, both of them been with the company for a long time. So yeah, as you said, their eliminations don't really hurt them in any way. But yeah, Kofi, he tries to get cute. But for like the last decade of cute little saves and fancy ways of not getting eliminated and getting back into the ring, it's starting to catch up to him now. So I'm sure he's going to keep pushing his luck still for years to come. But this is unfortunately an example where, yeah, it didn't work out completely, the planning of it or how it played out in the match here. Number 5 was Johnny Gargano, and good to see him back. He's been out for over a month with the shoulder injury. So glad to see him back in there. I was a little bummed he didn't get like a big reaction from the crowd. I don't know if you sensed that.
I really don't think I think one miss by Triple H. I think we talked about it when I was on the In The Kliq podcast last time, or you're on Take It Home podcast. We were talking about it. I just think like what got Johnny Gargano over with the NXT audience, I think it would have worked with the main roster audience, but what they did, they went with Goofy, and he's a very entertaining guy, but it's just like it worked in NXT, him being Goofy, because he's already had that history of his great wrestling, right? But here in the main roster, they're probably like, well, who's this little guy that's Captain Goofy? I just didn't, I don't think it worked. So I kind of hope they kind of focus back on Johnny Gargano, the wrestler, and not the Goofy side of him.
Well, you're right. Yeah. When he broke away from DIY, went on this huge run, Johnny Wrestling, the story with Ciampa, all the amazing matches he had at takeovers. When he got to the Goofy stuff, that was the fallout for him turning heel. So yeah, you're right. He had like this huge history of character work in NXT. So when he got to that Goofy stuff, here it kind of built up that goodwill with the NXT audience. So yeah, you're right. Here, it's like on the main roster, you're starting out with that. So maybe the casual person who didn't know him from NXT is like, who's this little funny guy? So I totally get it. But I did like when he came in, kind of came as a firecracker, was doing a lot of his big, signature moves in the ring, kind of setting the tone. So I was like, good. Like, hopefully it's a little bit of a reset for him there. Even though the crowd didn't react to him, hopefully his performance will get more eyeballs on him as a wrestler, and hopefully get some good momentum for the year.
You brought up the him coming in, hitting all his moves. That's one of the issues I have with the Rumble, is that every new person that comes in has to go on a run of bumping a bunch of people and doing a bunch of moves, and then there's no momentum stopped. And here because it's like everyone's the same. Like I get it. Everyone's like, who's not going to win or being there long wants to get time to shine, but not everyone gets time to shine. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's kind of like the same formula. And I felt a lot of the cases, it's just the same formula for everyone. And same thing with the women's as well.
We saw then Xavier Woods at number 6. He eventually got eliminated by Gunther. Shout out Gunther. He had the most eliminations. Not only he lasted the longest in the match, he had 5 eliminations. So he had the most for this particular Royal Rumble. And I'm glad they didn't do like one person gets like a bunch of eliminations and try to come close to the record. What was it, Kane and Braun Strowman? When that happens, I feel like it takes away. I like how it was kind of spread out. Like not one person dominated here, so everyone it got they shared the wealth of elimination. So a lot of these guys had 3, 2. It was kind of spread out. So I kind of like that. It's like it was almost like an even playing field for everyone. Yeah. So number 7 was Karrion Kross. He came in. He didn't get to stay that long. He only lasted about 4.5 minutes.
I felt, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's reading too much into this, but I felt maybe his stock has fallen just a bit, with that, the way that he was eliminated and everything. But we'll see. I still think highly of him. I know a lot of people have their, thoughts on him, but I like him. I like the whole presentation. I love Scarlett. I love the whole entrance, and maybe he might just be an entrance, but it's okay. He's not supposed to be Kurt Angle, haven't worked with Kurt Angle like wrestlers to make him look better, so.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like his entrance, obviously with Scarlett's role. But it's been interesting because like he's been kind of lukewarm lately. Like the whole Rey Mysterio feud's been kind of lackluster as far as it was just a slow build, and they had a match on SmackDown last night, and Ray won with the crucifix roll up. And so, yeah, Ray won last night and beat Karrion Kross. So Karrion Kross lost last night and then got eliminated pretty quick in the Royal Rumble.
Ray won and he just got out and he was fine. Like no heat back from Kross attacking him after the match. Anything like that happened?
No. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
I'm just curious because that's telling too. But maybe he's slipping down, I guess. I don't know. But
I did like he had had the white tape up his hands and stuff. So kind of adding to his look a little bit. I do like him with hair better. I know it's become like a debate, hair or no hair.
And just kind of put an end to this Karrion Kross discussion. I think it's hard for the fan base to get invested in Karrion Kross versus Rey Mysterio when they're more interested in Rey Mysterio versus Dom Mysterio.
Exactly. And that's been going on simultaneously at the same time,
It's almost like Rey should just like force retirement, and like I got walking away. And then we do, and they be smart and be like, okay, here's where we're going to include Rey when they go on Thanksgiving, when they go on Christmas, that kind of stuff. And then finally he comes back, so.
Yeah. Number 8 was Chad Gable. Good little run for him in the match. Number 9 was Drew McIntyre, who once he came in the ring, I enjoyed how him and Sheamus kind of buddied up. We know they've been kind of a tag team as of late on SmackDown for the last few weeks. They, as the reports came out, they've been going by the name the Banger Brothers just because bang after banger. Yeah. But I guess WWE quietly are not going to use that name anymore for advertisement.
And we forgot to mention the big return before the pay-per-view, the matches started at least, was Pat McAfee to the commentary booth.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And so he started making mention of that, and then Corey Graves, I think, mentioned the cease and desist or whatever. Like,
he's like, dude, you don't know, you can't say that. Don't bring it up. He's like, why? And then, what did they say? Was it Cole and Pat? You could tell they were like innuendos. They were like, they're brothers that like to bang. Oh, I got the exact quote here. I should have it, but it was funny. And then Pat's like, oh, okay, I get what you guys are saying. It was just the chemistry between him and Michael Cole. Yeah, very happy to see
welcome back, Pat McAfee, man. I love that guy. He's fantastic.
So I wonder, is he back on Friday nights now? And
college. Oh, yeah, because I want to, honestly, I want to see Booker T gone from NXT and Wade Barrett back.
Okay.
To NXT. Okay. And then Pat McAfee back
on Fridays.
But then again, they could be a 3-man booth, and then I thought, for me, I'm not a big 3-man booth guy, but I thought it worked here. And Wade Barrett would just be in the Corey Graves role, and they could kind of joust with each other and also joust with Cole. I don't know.
It was interesting seeing them kind of, joust with each other. Wonder, will we get a Pat McAfee, Corey Graves match at WrestleMania? Battle of the commentators, battle for Michael Cole's love.
McAfee had me going this show. I was like, oh, man, I missed this dude. So I like that guy a lot.
Yeah, he almost fell when he came in or made his debut or re-debut, and he was trying to jump on the chair and almost slipped. Luckily, one of the producers, ring crew guys, grabbed the chair and held on to it. But but yeah, them breaking down like why they can't say Banger Brothers anymore, trying to explain that why, and explain to him, and he's like, oh, okay. So it's just hilarious stuff. But yeah, so I loved how when Drew came in, him and Sheamus teamed up to kind of go on a tear, fighting everyone. Yeah. And I love seeing that. And, he had a very strong performance, almost 40 minutes in the Royal Rumble. My guy, friend of the podcast. I like to think he's the third man brother of this podcast. So Drew McIntyre, awesome performance there. And then number 10 was Santos Escobar, which I was very excited to see him come out. I have very high hopes for Santos. At some point,
I like him a lot.
I hope in the coming years, he gets a big push. I know people want to make that comparison to Eddie Guerrero, or people like to say who's going to be the next Eddie Guerrero. We've had other people, Andrade. Oh my God, I'm spacing on the former cruiserweight champion. He's with his cousin, Los Lotharios. Angel Garza. I think a lot of people thought he might be something. They're always trying to look for who could be the next Eddie Guerrero. Santos,
let him be the first Santos Escobar.
Absolutely, yes. At the end of the day, that should be his main focus and have his own destiny. But he was in there. Let's see, was it about 5 minutes? Okay. Number 11,
because it came out soon.
Yeah, so number 11 was Angelo Dawkins, who I thought he had a pretty good, strong showing kind of coming in. I like the San Antonio Spurs,
Yeah, that's cool.
Street Profits gear he had on. Number 12 was Brock Purdy. Oh, excuse me, Lesnar.
Go Niners tomorrow.
Yeah, go Niners. Yeah, I'll get up tonight.
Today.
Today. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
So no, Brock Lesnar came in. He declared last night on SmackDown. So yeah, he showed up on SmackDown last night when he took out Bobby Lashley again and said, I'll see you at the Rumble. So it was cool seeing Brock Lesnar back in the Royal Rumble. Not the same dominant performance he had in 2020, but what'd you think of his performance here?
I thought it was good, scary, all that when it comes to Brock Lesnar. I should have checked Santos Escobar's tweets because man, when he got suplexed over the top rope from Brock Lesnar, his upper back hit the edge of the ring, and he did not look good. And they were on him right away with checking on him. So I just hope that it wasn't anything serious. So I'm kind of hoping to look on his social media, see if he's posted anything since, because he's a talented guy. But yeah, but Brock's scary, man. In that one suplex with Sheamus on his head, and we know close to his head, and we know his neck injuries and stuff, his neck issues. So I get uneasy with Brock. You know what I mean? Like when he's out there. But I mean, there's no wrestle like that today that makes you uneasy like that. We're all kind of like, oh, this is a performance, it's fun. But here comes Brock. You're like, shit's gonna go down, dude. Something's gonna happen, and he's terrifying. Anytime he grabs a hold of someone, I gasp. I do. But he's one of my favorites of all time, and always
believe me. Yeah, believe me, that is number one reason why I do not want him in a match with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I know that's been a rumor that they want Stone Cold back for WrestleMania again. And one possible opponent that I guess they threw out at him last year as a pitch was Brock Lesnar. I'm like, no way. I don't want Stone Cold taking German suplexes from that guy. No
way. Yeah, no, I don't want to see that either. Yeah,
no, exactly.
Maybe in 2000, whatever it was,
2002 when he took his ball, went home, as they say.
Yeah, maybe then on a pay-per-view, not on a Raw, but yeah.
So let's see, 13 was Bobby Lashley, so that was cool. Second, back to back, these two guys who have bad beef with each other. By this point in the match, there was a lot of beef in this ring. I've noticed between Drew, Sheamus, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. I was like, damn, man, and poor Johnny Gargano. I kind of like he was just kind of like,
dude. I was like, he was safe from Brock's wrath in there. He never got Brock, I don't think.
No,
I think he was smart. He stayed in that corner, and just he's so small. He just hit under the bottom rope, I think, and then, or maybe Triple H said, "Hey, this is my boy. Don't hurt the kid." All right.
Yeah, that's true. So Brock, went on the tear. So in 3.5 minutes, he had 3 eliminations, and then when Bobby came in, clothesline him, eliminate him, and that was probably the first big shock of the night. Was Brock Lesnar got eliminated early? So I was like, oh my god,
I love that. I it was a shocking moment. I think it's great, and in the Bobby Lashley match, and Bobby Lashley Brock Lesnar match 3 needs some steam, and this was a big shocking moment. I liked it, and Brock, and of course he's not gonna go back quietly. I thought he's gonna walk out, but I love when he got eliminated and he looks up and he gives that smirk to Bobby, like, all right. But then he loses it. He just loses. He's just, he's unhinged, man.
And then, he went around the ring kind of destroying stuff, and officials were trying to stop him. And so it was cool. Yes, they're throwing stuff. So looks like, I'm guessing it's going to lead to a WrestleMania match. I think that's a perfect stage, or perfect match for both of them to finish their trilogy here. So Royal Rumble last year, Crown Jewel, back in September that was, and then having the third and final match, rubber match at WrestleMania this year. So that'd be cool. Nice little
could
year.
It be at Elimination Chamber?
So
because I can see why the Gunther Brock match, but Brock can wrestle twice. No one's gonna say you can't wrestle twice,
Yeah, I mean, I can see Elimination Chamber because they're like, okay, how can you stretch this for 8 weeks theoretically to WrestleMania, where their feud more or less is just them running in on each other's matches and beating each other up. So
yeah,
it's a very simple storyline that they have going here. So I don't know how you can keep people engaged for 8 weeks until WrestleMania happens. So I can see why they might just jump ahead and go to Elimination Chamber, but I would love to see that WrestleMania, just two big hosses go at it. What you think of Brock and Gunther kind of staring each other down, and Gunther kind of holding his own, trying to chop Brock Lesnar a little bit?
Yeah, I wonder if the timing was off there. Where like, I don't know if they were supposed to have a physical confrontation or it took a while for they got, or maybe they came together too early before Lesnar, Lashley, music hit. But I liked it. I'm looking forward to that match. If that's a rumored match at WrestleMania, right? It's Gunther versus Brock. So here's what I would do to protect Brock a little bit.
Okay.
I would do like your suggestion, Brock, Lashley, WrestleMania, night 1, make it a war, and have Brock come in the match with Gunther, taped up ribs, taped up arm, taped up knee. And Brock loses that match, and Brock has just a bit of an out where you can say, well, he wasn't 100% in that match, and then don't rush to do the rematch, but maybe you can hold it off for a SummerSlam or something else, like that's kind of like what I would do with that. I think,
Okay.
I'm still kind of hoping for Cena versus Gunther, honestly, at WrestleMania, but I know that's probably not going to happen. But
okay. And then let's see, Baron Corbin at number 14, who got taken out by Brock when he came in.
Perfect in that role. I love Baron Corbin, and I'm a big Baron Corbin guy, and he's good for that kind of role, and and he's got easy night for him.
Yeah, and sorry to break kayfabe, but he is a really cool dude. Like, he's always been super nice to me. Every time I've seen him, he always comes up and say hi. So sorry, Baron.
I just think he's a hell of a performer in the ring. Yeah. I think he's really good, underrated, underappreciated. And also, I think when it comes to just being a character on television, stuff with the backstage, he just a natural, in the front of the camera, in my opinion.
Yeah, and his in-ring work, it doesn't get enough credit, because there was what's the spinning movie does, Deep Six, right? Or if you look back, I saw a clip on Twitter. It was kind of going around when Edge returned at the Royal Rumble 2020. Baron Corbin did the Deep Six, but the way he did it, he really just gently laid Edge down nicely without taking a big hit on himself. So, Baron doesn't get enough credit for taking care of, his dance partner in the ring. So
yeah, he's a good worker.
Let's see, 15 was Seth freaking Rollins. Of course, the crowd went, crazy. Singing his song. It's amazing. He went on a tear as well for about 37 minutes. So we'll talk more about him towards the end. What happened? Otis at 16, and wait, was it you who said not his entrance?
Yeah, just his whole. This way he's walking the ring, I just was dying laughing. I don't know. I kind of, I think Babyface, we got to have Babyface Otis back. He's just a goofy guy.
Yeah. You got to do the worm in the ring. So a little bit Babyface tendencies he's starting to bring back out again. 17 was supposed to be Rey Mysterio, but didn't come out. The music hit, but no sign of him. Number 18 was Dominic Mysterio. He comes out with Rey's mask on. So led to believe he
beat him up, right?
Yeah, beat him up.
But it's almost like they missed it on commentary, though. They didn't even say it like he must have beat him up, or there was some kind of like they didn't say anything. So I don't know if it's going to be Dom that did it or Karrion Kross. Maybe they're still going to continue that program. It has to be Dom, right?
Yeah, well, that's my thing. It's like I wish they would have shown some video. Like, oh my God, we're sending the camera backstage right now, and something's going on, and show some footage to kind of tell that story beat. Unless, hopefully, maybe they can make it up on SmackDown, be like, here's some footage you didn't see from the show, and maybe it was Karrion Kross who took him out. It
would have been interesting if they show that footage and Rey is up, number 17, ready to go, and then down the hallway, waiting to go at number 18 is see his son Dom, and he doesn't want to be in that match with Dom because he doesn't want to fight him. So he just walks away.
And that's been a story beat that they've been trying to tell. Like, that's why he wanted to go to SmackDown, or he wanted to retire or quit. And Triple H said, no, we'll trade you to SmackDown because he just didn't want to deal with it. But I think long term, the goal is to have a match between the two of them at WrestleMania. I think that's what's going to happen eventually.
Yeah. He walks away, bumps. Dom checks him, calls him a coward or something like that. He grabs a mask off his head or something. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, Dom's like, he's a heat machine, man.
Incredible. Like, he was doing press yesterday at the media, Royal Rumble media junket. I would love to talk to him. Just be like, dude, I was there in San Jose when Raw was there last September, and the crowd was booing you so hard. Like, I would just like to ask him, like, how do you manage that? Like, does it weigh on you at all? Like, separating, the person and the character. And it's like, God, I would love to get into it.
He has that cowardly heel down too. Like, he does a great job, like, being that cowardly heel. I thought he was fantastic. Like, in the Rumble, where like he's like holding the ropes and the bottom rope with his legs and arms and just holding tightly and being sneaky in there. I thought he did a great job. I like that kid.
Yeah, I mean, he came out when he ripped his dad's mask, and then after he had it on, and then he was hesitant to come in the ring. Like, Sheamus was staring at him, like, waiting, and he kept running around the ring like, nah. Like, so you're right with the whole coward heel thing. Elias came in at number 19. He was only in there for 39 seconds. He was able to hit Gunther with the guitar shot on his back, which then busted Gunther's back open with some blood. But then Drew and Sheamus had the double kick on Elias and eliminate him pretty quickly. So nice knowing you, Elias.
Elias is on Raw, right? So I don't really watch too much Raw. So is he a heel or babyface on? Is he a heel or babyface over there?
So he was kind of like teaming with Riddle before Riddle went away. And so they were kind of having like a little bit of a babyface dynamic with each other, kind of like they're trying to recreate the Odd Couple dynamic like him and Randy had. So yeah, he's been more babyface as of late.
I wonder if we'll get Gunther showing up on Raw for a match with Elias just to do,
revenge.
Just something. Yeah. This is weird. It was awkward that the guitar shot was for Gunther of all people. That's what I thought.
Exactly. Yeah. And then 20 was Finn Balor. So 2/3 of Judgment Day were in at this point. Then at 21, Booker T, Texas home state return for him. Booker T making a surprise appearance there. He didn't last that long. He got to do a couple little moves, Spinneroonie, but eliminated 42 seconds from Gunther. So nice seeing ya.
All it needed to be.
Yeah, exactly. And the commentators were laughing. It's like, go back to NXT, or, they're having fun with it. So, and 22 was Damian Priest. So, all three members of Judgment Day, all three male members. And at that point, that's when they really start taking control of the match. Like the three of them are ganging up on everyone. So that was very cool. So it's like, Triple H's, faction that he's kind of had to reboot. He's made them look strong here. Let's see, 23 was Montez Ford. So he was in there. Unfortunately, Angelo Dawkins already eliminated earlier. So Montez Ford came in. I was bummed though. I thought he was going to have a strong showing, maybe like do a frog splash, like a high risk move. He was also in there for only like 47 seconds, and Damian Priest threw him out and he landed on his feet. And was that Bianca Belair's parents right there he landed in front of?
Oh, I don't know.
If you have a chance to go back, or anyone listening, please let me know. I think that was Bianca Belair's parents that he landed and got eliminated right in front of. And he's like, man, he was all pissed. But I was a little bummed. I really want to see Montez Ford have a strong showing here. But, I guess, it's just easy target to get rid of.
Wasn't in the cards this time around.
Yeah. So 24 Edge made his big return as well.
Great.
And then Judgment Day, we're all scared because last time we saw him was, what was it, October?
Extreme Rules, they said?
Extreme Rules. Yeah. So he was pissed and started going, taking him out. But we saw that he did get eliminated by Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So they got a little bit of revenge there. He get to
Perfect.
get... Not yes.
Time, I thought.
Okay.
Didn't have to be long. I thought I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. Keep it quick, keep it exciting.
And then we saw what was it? Walking up the ramp, Rhea Ripley comes out, and they're all because Finn and Damian got eliminated, so they're all fighting. Rhea comes out to 3-on-1 attack, but then Beth Phoenix comes out to save her husband. Great moment. She had to spear Rhea Ripley, so continue that storyline. So I wonder. Because I think the rumor originally was going to be Finn and Edge at Royal Rumble, but it looked like it got pushed off. So maybe Elimination Chamber or maybe WrestleMania. Who knows?
I think that's a good point. That's a good call. I was thinking like, are they gonna be the hold us out until WrestleMania, do the mixed tag match? I know, because Rhea can wrestle twice. Right? A lot of people think like they could do 2 matches, or they could do stuff for television. But I think it's a good match. Edge and Finn for Elimination Chamber as a singles match for sure.
And then let's see, Austin Theory at 25, Omos at 26, and Omos he just kind of stood there trying to be like Andre Giant type, be the big giant trying to beat up on everyone. Braun Strowman at 27, so it was cool seeing Omos and Braun going at it again. I tweeted out, it reminded me of Hulk and Abomination going at it. So,
Hunter, I should have told Hunter, my son, he would have loved that. But the Giants are going at it, right? Like, that's cool.
Yeah. So for maybe the kids in the crowd, be like, whoa, look at these 2 massive guys beating each other up. So that's always cool. And then
doesn't really mean much these days because the way they used him and he's been beaten, they've seen that. But I think you can add some steam to them if they eventually, and I hope they do this, bring back the Hurt Business with almost as well as like just a big bodyguard type, and I think they would look fantastic. And Cedric and Shelton are good wrestlers, and they'd be a hell of a tag team to put back together and feature.
Absolutely. Ricochet came in at 28, so him and Braun, who've been kind of like a tag team as of late, so they got to help each other out a little bit. Let's see, 29 was Logan Paul, which I was like, oh.
Really? You don't like Logan Paul? Not a big fan of Logan?
I mean, listen, I give him credit. All of his matches so far in WWE have been so good. He's been proving critics wrong, but he's just got that smirk, that look in his face, and you're just like, oh, I just want to. He's got that punchable face.
Yeah, well, and they wanted to hate this guy. Which is weird. It's like so weird. Like some days they love him, and like he's one of those guys you can love and hate. And it looks like I think they tease up a pretty fun match at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So was Cody in there? Okay, so Cody came in at number 30. So what do you think? People were kind of being critical that he came in at number 30. I know they announced he was gonna return to Rumble the Raw before. So they kind of didn't save it as a surprise. They just flat out said he's coming, he's going to return. Yeah. But he came in at number 30, and a lot of people were critical. Like, that's really foreshadowing that he was going to win. Well, I don't know. What did you think about that placement?
That was one of my criticism. Like, if he's going to be number 30, again, does 30 have to be a surprise every time? But at the same time, like, it just seems so convenient that he came back and is number 30, right? The best number you can get, right? Yeah. I would like to see him come back at 25 or 26. Honestly, I would have flipped Austin Theory and Cody. Austin Theory is a perfect number 30. The kid, 20 years old, all the gifts in the world, and, U.S. champ, and he gets number 30. Like, he should be like, oh, man, he has the best draw of them all. And, you could, he's going to do it, that kind of stuff, with him.
And then let's see, we saw, at that point, Omos got eliminated by, I believe by Braun Strowman. Let's see. What'd you think of the Logan Paul Ricochet spot where they're both like looking at each other? You want to do this? You want to do this? They both springboard off the ropes and just air crash into each other.
Yeah, pretty cool moment. Pretty fun.
Yeah, and then let's see, the final 4. Oh wait, Cody Rhodes, it says here, had 5 eliminations. So him and Gunther were tied then. I'm sorry. So down to oh my God, sorry, where my notes go. I had the final 4 here.
Cody, Gunther, Austin Theory. I want to say Seth, but actually I think it might have been Logan Paul, really, because he snuck it back, right? After
Yeah.
that spot.
So what'd you think of Logan Paul eliminating Seth Rollins? That everyone was like, "Oh my god, shocked!" Like
it was again another shocking elimination that building to a future matchup that I believe is going to be at WrestleMania.
mm-hmm.
And Logan Paul, we always seen, is a very gifted athlete. Seth Rollins, of course, as we know, is a very gifted athlete. So, I mean, I think they're going to have a hell of a match at WrestleMania.
Let's see. Yeah, so Seth Rollins hit Theory with the stomp, and Cody eliminated Theory. So, yeah, it was just down Gunther, Rollins, and Cody. So, yeah, originally I think people thought the final four were Austin Theory, Cody, Gunther, and Rollins. But then, sure enough, Logan Paul actually made a surprise return, eliminate Seth Rollins from the match after they eliminate Austin Theory. So then the final three, was... we saw, let me see, did I have my notes
Gunther,
here?
Logan, and Cody.
Yeah. And then so they're going at it, and where did I had here? Sorry, I lost my notes. So they eliminated Logan Paul, and so now it's down to the final two, Gunther and Cody Rhodes. It was really interesting. It's like number 30 and number 1 are going at it. Gunther had this amazing performance, over an hour in there from the number 1 spot. Cody, number 30. I know. What'd you think about that dynamic of the two of them? Because a lot of people are like, oh, they should have flipped it around. Like Cody should have been like the Iron Man and kind of winning the fans' support, that he's like overcoming the odds. And Gunther is the big bad heel. He's getting the sweet spot number 30, and therefore should like be more refreshed, and was in the ring that long. So therefore Cody's like already exhausted, tired, and has to take out this big monster of Gunther. But what do you think about that kind of criticism people had?
This is Cody's first match back. You probably don't want him to go an hour. I don't think he wants to go an hour, so you want to kind of, though he was wrestled for a very long time in there, though there's moments when he came in that he could, sneak a break or two here and there when he, but no, originally when I saw what was going to be towards the end, I thought, okay, there's probably going to come down to Cody versus Seth because the rivalry, what they had. But I was hoping for, and crossing my fingers for Gunther, because I really wanted to have that moment, And I'm glad they did what they did with Gunther and Cody. I thought that was great. Again, pretty convenient that he was
match within a match. It was like extended period. Them two going at it.
I like that. I don't think they should have it every year, but I like it when it comes down to the final two and they have a long battle. Like Michaels and Undertaker. I think they're the first one to do that, and I thought that was great. Like I said, it works with certain people, but I think for this time around, it worked perfectly, and because Gunther's a machine, and Cody had to go through all the, even though he's number 30, he still had to get past him, and Gunther, I thought was, obviously the Iron Man and just amazing performance. I thought the original Iron Man was going to be Austin Theory had in that role. I thought originally, but I'm glad Gunther got that role, got that spot, and he didn't need to win. And by the end, I think he got over more. Just that performance alone, he has the record now, the longest. I think he beat everyone's record, right? Like 71 minutes or something like that.
Gunther, so he was in there 1 hour, 11 minutes, 42 seconds, so 71 minutes.
Yeah, he definitely beat Rey Mysterio's record, right? I think Rey was the one with the record, if I remember correctly.
Let me do a quick check as you do that. Longest performance Royal Rumble. I guess that's the best way to Google that.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, greatest Royal Rumble was 76 minutes, but see, that was different. That was 40 competitors. The greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, if I remember correctly.
Technicality.
Yeah, a little bit of
anyways, he did it. Either way, he's got over. It was great. They had a great match, quote unquote, a final two. And I thought I was like, I know Cody's winning, but there was moments where like, okay, here's the elimination. Nope. Like they really teased it well. I thought it was pretty great. I kind of would like to see. I don't know if this would work. I don't know if people have been. This is going against the grain a little bit, but I kind of want to see Gunther hit the what he calls that move. It's the Emerald Flosion, but what does he call that move? It's called the last curtain or something like that. Or
his new move. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let him hit it and just be like, like himself just counting the mat 1, 2, 3 and be like all just pumped up, like, and people are like, oh shoot, like visually he pins Cody wins, Cody was a title later on, and then you could always kind of go back to that, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe, but it was just something that kind of came to my thought for something for the future with Gunther and Cody.
So you're right. Yeah. Rey Mysterio for 62 minutes. So in the traditional Royal Rumble match. So yeah, he did have the record before that. So yeah, Gunther by what, over 10, almost 10 minutes beat that. So Gunther, even though he didn't win, strong showing for him, winning people over, putting the IC title, just what he's been doing to elevate that title, and just performance adds to, I think, gives more prestige to the Intercontinental title, which I'm happy for. But yeah, as far as the match itself at the end with him and Cody, the chops back and forth, like Gunther chopping Cody's back. I'm like, like God, I was like flinching myself, and he's stomping on it, gets him on top corner and like stepping on him. Loved all that. Gunther power bombing Cody. So Cody took a beating at the end, but Abel was able to hit the crossroads and eliminate Gunther, and Cody wins. So here he is. He's the new number one contender for the title come WrestleMania. Now, people are trying to speculate, is it going to be against Roman? Is it going to be someone else? Are they going to split the titles? I know we could discuss that till we're blue in the face, but we'll just see how this plays out. And
I want to see how they play out. I think they have a good plan, obviously. So
so no, but overall very fun. Like was the beginning of the show. They already announced 27 competitors, so no, not a lot of busy surprises or legend surprises. I like your main takeaway that they really focus on the current roster here, and so I'm very happy with that. All right, so next up, we'll power through these middle matches here. So we had the Mountain Dew pitch black match between Bray Wyatt, LA Knight. Didn't last that long, only 5 minutes. As you guys know, who watched it, the lights were turned down. Everything was like fluorescent with the ropes and glowing. Bray Wyatt, or LA Knight comes out and he has the bright yellow gear, so that stood out well with the fluorescent black lights that they had. Bray Wyatt comes out through the door, his first match in almost 2 years in WWE. What'd you think of his initial look? It was like a black outfit, and he had like black, face paint around his eyes. And then once the lights go out and the fluorescent black lights come on, you see it's like an extra layer of makeup that was glowing off his body and down his arms, like almost spider webby. I don't know the best way to describe it, but what'd you think about his new look, or at least the look for this match?
I thought it was very cool. The match was supposed to be LA Knight was going to be the guy that loses to Bray Wyatt, and I thought LA Knight did his job perfectly. And I thought Bray was great. Like the look when he turned. I don't know. Now does this mean every match is going to be lights out like this? Because how could he do this all the time? That was my concern after it. But it looked very cool visually. Though I didn't like the whole Mountain Dew logo in the middle of the ring. I thought it was kind of goofy. But
Actually, so I'll show you.
I like. There you go.
I found some pitch black at the store earlier, so I had some.
I like the look, and I think you can go ahead and start explaining what happened after the end of the match, because he had a second look. Right? Yeah,
so he ended up beating LA Knight. I did like the spot on the table and like all the fluorescent like paper that they had like shot up in the air, kind of a cool visual there.
That was to give LA Knight something, because he's going to get basically his ass kicked this.
Yeah, so LA Knight put Bray through the table, so that was cool. I saw a lot of people criticizing, they thought it looked kind of goofy, the whole match itself. I'm concerned, Bray gets too caught up in these gimmick matches, and it kind of visually it can be tough to watch, with the red light when he was the Fiend, this here. I know it's probably, I would like to see maybe just get back to like a regular style match for himself. Yeah. I don't know if, moving forward, this is going to be the new norm for him when it comes to wrestling. I don't know.
Or is that second look his monster look, I guess?
So yeah, he beat LA Knight, and then LA Knight's wandering away, but then he puts on like a red glowing mask. And LA Knight's trying to hit him with a kendo stick that was lit up, looked like a highlighter. So
I was going zoom, zoom, and I was doing all the deal. Someone got to make it to like a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Right. Like graphic,
Some sound effects on there.
Yeah, geek me out with Star Wars stuff.
So LA Knight was trying to run away. Bray's following him, and then they lead up to I don't know what you call it, the side production stage that was elevated.
Yeah.
LA Knight's laying there, Bray standing over him, but then up top, see Uncle Howdy shows up, and he's standing there looking down, and he just jumps, leaps, crashes through the floor that LA Knight's laying on, and all of a sudden, like, fire goes off, and like, whoa, it's kind of like, what the hell's going on here? What'd you think of how that?
What did Undertaker say to him? I was kidding.
Throw your body out there.
You need the sparks to go off.
So kind of
like we talked about this off air, right? As we're watching live, like we're kind of like unsure of Uncle Howdy at this point. Like, what's his role? But I don't know. Let's see what I mean. I kind of gotta see it play out a little more, I guess.
Yeah, like I know this has been going on for like almost 2 months, it feels like, but it's like I want more explanation of what Uncle Howdy is. Is he
the mastermind?
Is he the Bray Wyatt what the urn was to the Undertaker? It's like his source of power, is his like leader that like motivates him to do what he does. I don't know. I want more explanation because I'm like at the point it's like it's getting kind of goofy here. Let's, I know when he first debuted the mask, people were criticizing him, and then they redid the mask the following week. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes here. But next up, it was for the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss. Another short one, didn't go too long, about 7.5 minutes here. This is probably the match I was unfortunately like least looking forward to.
Same
just
here.
The build was okay. Alexa Bliss just kind of turned heel post War Games. Her and Bianca were kind of buddies leading up to the War Games match. And then after that, Alexa just kind of snapped, went heel again. Uncle Howdy's been haunting her over on Raw. But yeah, your thoughts on this match itself?
Not much into it. I can't get into Alexa Bliss as a wrestler. I don't mind her as a valet manager type of character. Just her work is I just can't believe her. She's so tiny. Her punches look like crap. I mean, it was what it was. I mean, Bianca won, and that's cool and all, but I'm not even sure about this whole. I get it. The Alexa Bliss possessed character was a big merch seller. I think that little doll sold a lot and all that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
I just kind of feel it doesn't fit Bray right now. Like, isn't he like a baby face or I don't know? But then people sound like they want it though. So who am I to say? But
yeah, no, that you're right, because it's like Uncle Howdy's talking to Alexa Bliss or haunting her, whatever you want to call it, stalking her, and she's like having heel tendencies. But then Bray, he's being presented as the baby face. So it's like, yeah, his Uncle Howdy is influence on both shows. It's just interesting. I just hope the story progresses more. We kind of get some more character beats and explanation just to fill in the gaps of like, what the hell's going on here? So the match is fine. Bianca picks up the win, retains her title. Unfortunately, we knew she was not going to lose here. If anything, give her a full year run come WrestleMania. So, so let's go ahead jumping into it. There was the women's Royal Rumble match. So we'll power through this real quick. And Rhea Ripley came in at number 1, Liv Morgan number 2. So they were 1 and 2. I know Liv on SmackDown a few weeks ago wanted to go in number 1, like she wanted to be the Iron Woman of this match. She kind of just declared that. Even though she was technically number 2, she did start the match out. Rhea Ripley at number 1. Dana Brooke at number 3, Emma at number 4, Shayna Baszler at number 5. What'd you think of Shayna Baszler's performance? I was kind of hoped she was going to be like the big monster in this match and kind of do a bunch of eliminations. Not as strong a performance as I was hoping for.
It seems like, obviously they're just kind of continuing that feud with Natalya later on, who showed up, and it was fine. My issue with this match, I thought the finish was really good and exciting, but I felt like here's another person, number 1, lasting all the way through the end. We just saw that with the men's. What's the odds it's going to happen twice?
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
Like, I don't mind Rhea winning it all. Just put her like, can't she come out number 10? And just to make it not similar to what we saw earlier. And even Liv wanting to be number one or whatever. Like, I don't get the whole Liv Morgan deal. I don't get it.
Yeah, you're right. I've not fully bought into it. And, ever since she won Money in the Bank last year. So like the last 6-7 months, I felt like they haven't done enough with her and her character to kind of prove to me, or maybe the WWE universe, why I feel like she is like a strong competitor, a believable, because she wasn't like really a strong champion. I mean,
no.
And so I'm with you. It's
the fandom online on social media is just like championing her before she won the title. Like, she deserves it, all this stuff. I'm like, deserves what? Like, she doesn't. Everyone doesn't need a belt. She doesn't. I get it. She's attractive. I think she's very attractive. But wrestling wise, and I know they're trying to get her over as this like, hardcore person, but I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
Yeah. Well, there are times where the fans, and I'm just speaking more, rhetorically, is like there's someone like in the mid card level that all of a sudden they want to get behind and try to push to be the main event. And, is it rightful? Did they rightfully deserve that position? That's always a big question mark. And this is an example of someone who's kind of just been around for a long time. And I think people wanted to see her get pushed. And I don't know, with her style or presentation, that she kind of represents maybe that underdog baby face. But you're right. The ones the good ones who can pull that off, they got that believability in their performance. And she hasn't like fully grasped that for me, or what you're saying, to like fully believe in that and like care. And it's like, she won the Money in the Bank. And then, even how she beat Ronda, she beat her kind of almost like in a heelish way, like, came out of nowhere and attacked her, surprised her and, beat it, and then, lost it not too soon after back to Ronda. So I get it. I get what you're saying. So, let's see. Bailey came in at number 6. B-Fab at number 7. She didn't last that long. Liv Morgan took her out. Or no, excuse me. Rhea Ripley took her out.
I love B-Fab. I think she's very attractive. I just feel like she's a liability in there as a wrestler. Yeah. And even when she got thrown on the top rope, she did that wrong. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get hurt,
That's the thing. She hardly even wrestles. Like, that's why I'm surprised they put her in this match in the Royal Rumble.
Perfect person, I guess, to get in and out quickly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, oh man, I don't know. I like her as on the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine for the Hit Row group.
Yeah, number 8 was Roxanne Perez, current women's NXT champion. You and I were texting, super excited to see her come out there. Cool. Especially because she is from Texas as well. And you can see her face. She was so excited. I was kind of hoping that she would have the NXT title with her, and they didn't do that. So
I felt the same way with even New Day. I thought they should have had the belts out just to kind of help continue to promote the brand.
And actually, going back to the men's real quick, no NXT call-ups there or performances, which I just
think there was just no room to really fit them,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'd rather have Braun Breaker not be in it and just, in there for 5 minutes and getting dumped out, I'd rather have him just, unless he's going to have a moment or this is going to be his coming out party for the main roster, don't let him, don't put him in there, and just focus on the Vengeance, which is it Vengeance? Yeah, Vengeance, which is next week.
Next weekend. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. And Roxanne Perez, she came in, hot, taking people out, and it's really strong performance there.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai, number 9, Io Sky, number 10. So early on, Damage Control, very much like Judgment Day, the three of them teaming up and started going on, dominance right there. I thought that was pretty cool. Number 11 was Natty. So good to see her back, and then kind of, get back in, get going after Shane. Because she broke her nose, right? I'm trying to remember. Was that the last thing?
I believe that was the story. Yeah.
Okay. And then let's see. Candice LeRae at number 12. Zoe Stark, also from NXT, coming in at number 13. I thought she was great in there. She's such a great talent.
I think she's going to be a call up after WrestleMania.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. She's totally ready. Yeah, I think so. Just strong performance there as well. Xia Li, number 14. I kind of laughed. She had her weapon and she was trying to enter the ring with him. The ref's like, no.
That's
and then
cool.
she threw it out. Like, what she got going there? Like, stabbing people.
I like that. I like that touch. Yeah, she was going with the. Oh, let's get the referees on the point. Those referees, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's Becky Lynch at number 15. I think by this point, the crowd kind of woke up again. I think their energy was down a little bit. When Becky came out, that kind of got everyone off the feet again. Tegan Nox, number 16. Asuka, number 17. I popped so hard. I love Asuka. I've missed her for way too long.
Well, apparently she was. I didn't realize she was gone for that long.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was the thing. She came back from injury and was, like
a mouth
help with the build,
like that, right? Yeah,
yeah, and she helped with the build to War Games, and then she was gone again, for the last over a month. I want to say almost, was it at least December? I think she's been gone. So I was like, oh, what happened? And so. It was on an episode of Raw. I think she lost something. She kind of looked like she was snapping a little bit. And then she put on her Instagram an old photo of her as Kana with the clown makeup. And so a lot of people were like, oh, a repackaging coming soon. So we got.
It felt like a repackage for her, which is good. She needed it.
Yeah. So we got that tonight. So new music, or at least her old music kind of redone, a little bit remixed. New mask on her. And she had pants now as her ring gear, new ring gear. Yeah, she took the mask off and had very cool clownish inspired blue and white makeup. So a callback to her is it pronounced Kana? Am I saying that right? I hope so.
If I remember correctly. I'm not the big Joshi guy. That's my
So her
5-star Joshi show would be the guy to call on that one.
Absolutely. So yeah, her former days in Japan. And I love when she got in the ring. She dominated and, was there obviously to the end, to the final 3. So I'm very happy that Asuka got a big performance here. Obviously she was one of Triple H's babies back in NXT, that dominance run in NXT. And so I was really excited, okay, let's get Asuka back up there in that main event title picture scene. So I was super stoked for this performance from her. Piper Niven, number 18, no longer Dewdrop, back to her NXT UK name. What do you think of seeing her back out there?
I love Piper Niven. And it was weird because she comes out. I'm like, oh, cool, Piper Niven. And I didn't even hit me that they went back to her old name. I don't call her. I never called her Dewdrop. She's always Piper Niven to me. Yeah. And I sat there and I think I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't realize they changed her name. And I was so happy to see that, and came in like a badass, and she's so talented. And a sweetheart.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. When I interviewed at SummerSlam the year before, she was so cool. And I'm glad she's back doing healthy. I mean, it came out the other day that she's been battling with COVID. She had a really bad, what's it called? Long COVID.
Yeah.
So I think she got it, 4 months ago? And literally took about 3 months to really overcome it. And get healthy again. And then, obviously at that point, she said, I saw one interview, she's get back in the ring shape and everything. So, it's been definitely a struggle for her personally. So I'm glad she's been able to overcome it and get back in there now. So
I think really she can be a hell of a babyface. I know she's a heel right now, from her work, at least in the Rumble. So she was from her presence and stuff working as a heel, but I feel like she could be a great babyface and such an inspiration to a lot of young women out there, it doesn't have to be the Liv Morgans of the world. There's Alexa Blisses. It could be, a Piper Niven who's a bigger woman and a successful woman, so in the ring. That's my hope.
She's a total badass.
Gorgeous, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a badass in the ring, sweet personality, also in person as well. She is awesome. I would love to see her get pushed as well at some point. Tamina at number 19. Good to see Tamina back. I thought she was gone.
Hey.
Or, I forgot.
The heck?
Number
20. She had a lifetime contract. Holy shit.
I don't know. I was shocked to see her. Number 20, Chelsea Green. Welcome back to WWE. So
It's been waiting for this to happen. It's been not a big secret out there, but
yeah, it was like the worst kept secret. Like because her last Impact thing, majig or performance or appearance was a few months ago, or like 2-3 months, whatever it was. I saw like she walked out on after a loss, and Deonna Purrazzo was trying to follow her out, and she's like, "Where are you going?" She says, "I'm going home." And people were like reading into it.
So she remains injury free and all that stuff. She's known to get injured, and I'm hoping that she's injury free. I know the original plan, I believe the original plan for her on the main roster for all the cuts started to happen was going to be Chelsea and Santana Garrett.
Oh yes, yeah.
Someone else, I forget. It was like the kind of like the Layla, Michelle Cool kind of deal, but with 3 of them,
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
No. So glad to see they finally got her back. I think they were like waiting for creative for her. So I'm glad she's back. What about this? I'm just throwing it out there. I think a lot of people are saying, okay, with Mandy Rose gone, could she be the new leader for Toxic Attraction? Maybe, I don't know. Bring up Toxic Attraction to the main roster.
I mean, I know that her eliminations will play on her other elimination for the Rumble was very quick, which the last time she was in it, if you remember correctly, like she came out, got eliminated pretty quickly in the Rumble. I think this kind of play on that. I can see her. Yeah, maybe she's not going to be on the main roster because they did have NXT women on this in this Rumble. Yeah, that's a good idea. She could be in Toxic Attraction, though. I feel like Toxic Attraction is about to be called up. So yeah, they might be a new version of that. I still think Mandy Rose is coming back, personally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Like, I'm curious what her fan page subscription totals are right now. Like, I think there was an initial shock of like everyone buying into it. And then like, as time goes by, people are like, why am I still paying for this?
Well, she even said on a recent interview that if they would have gave her a heads up, she would have got rid of the page. What I mean? Or she mentioned she would have, whatever, toned it down or whatever it was,
Yeah.
So I'm sure she'll be back soon. In my opinion, I think.
Me too. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think we were trying to break down a fan page, but I think part of the reason she has a big following on a fan page is she's on TV. Now, regardless of the salary and stuff, she was getting main roster salary still, but I know it's nowhere near the money she's making from the fan page. But I think while people followed her because they see her on TV, when she's not on TV anymore, she kind of loses maybe, that star power. So I can see like maybe if she's gone for 6 months off TV, people will forget about her and maybe she'll lose subscription numbers. So you kind of need that. It's a catch-22.
And I don't think she's ever be hurting for money because I believe her husband, Tino Sabatelli, made a good amount of money in football.
And he's
investments.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So I think they're fine financially for the rest of their lives. God bless them.
Yeah.
But the craving of being a star, I don't think they have kids. So I think, I see her back. I do. Yeah, honestly, I see her back. Yeah.
And then
I won't be shocked.
And here we are, fantasy booking. If Chelsea Green's the new leader of Toxic Attraction, then you have the old leader versus the new leader, and it writes itself.
And you know what? Like, I was never like a Mandy Rose guy. I rooted for her because I felt like she had star power. But honestly, it was her NXT run that really impressed me. Like I saw like that was a great move, setting her down there, and I thought she greatly improved in the ring. So it was a bum to see her, all that stuff that happened to her being released and everything. I thought she was making great strides as a worker in the ring, and I was kind of hoping to see her transition from the NXT back to the main roster and show those skills that she learned from her time there.
Yeah. So, but Chelsea Green got eliminated in 4 seconds from Rhea Ripley. Zelina Vega.
The best line, I thought my favorite line was like, was it Michael Cole or was it Pat McAfee's like, I'm going to get a chance to make fun of her husband, which I thought was going to be a Rumble entrant. Honestly,
yeah.
I figure he's coming back soon.
Yeah, he bought the rights to Zack Ryder, the name, because WWE let it go, so he took that, so he can go by any name he wants now. Zelina Vega, 21, had the Street Fighter look, promoting Street Fighter 6, so they gotta get their little advertisement product placement right there. Raquel Rodriguez at 22.
I know.
So she comes out, big pop, also from Texas. So the crowd was reacting for her. Pretty strong showing there, dominant, just taking out people. She had 3 eliminations. I was going to say Mia Yim, but like, I guess it's back to Michin again. Like, they've been hoppatailing her name now for the last couple months. So,
and like McAfee and Graves had this fun game because they would, when Piper Niven came out, first Michael Cole's all, she's a Viper like something, I think. And then Pat McAfee started going, well, then she's really dropping them down or something, and then they're saying Piper and all this. And then Mia Yim comes out, and then I think Graves said something, Mia, she's a Mia something.
Yeah. I caught that too. Funny. She's like, yeah. She's Mia. I forgot the exact phrase he said, but yeah, play all the words.
Me up.
Yeah. Lacey Evans at 24 came out, did the Cobra Clutch. You see that? I think was it Sergeant Slaughter said she didn't ask for permission to use it. They should start using the Cobra Clutch
on Twitter or something.
I think it was a Twitter or something. He said like, yeah, she didn't reach out to him. So
he retweeted my Twitter, and my Twitter blew up for that post blew up for a while because I kept liking it and sharing it.
Which one?
It was just someone posted the Refrigerator Perry G.I. Joe figure. And I never had that one, but I said, I think I retweeted it and I said, I never had this one, but I had the Sergeant Slaughter mail-in figure. And he like retweeted it. Or no, he said like Yo Joe or something like that. It replied to me, but also retweeted it, and then it got kind of went up.
Nice. Awesome.
It was funny.
He's a great guy. I've met him a couple of times. He's a really nice guy. That's cool. Let's see. So she comes out. I like how she was using the Cobra Clutch to who'd she eliminated? It was, I had it here. I like it. It was oh my god, why am I blanking on the name? Zelina Vega. She had her up in the Cobra Clutch on the top of the ropes and then threw her out when she passed out. That was kind of cool spot right there. Michelle McCool, number 25, coming out from ringside with their kids. So that was pretty cool. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's cool. Fine. Indy Hartwell, 26 from NXT. So give him the thumbs up coming out. So I hope this means she can come up to the main roster soon. She's accomplished everything in NXT, right?
Yeah, her time in NXT is pretty much done. But yeah, and I like Indy. She just you kind of root for her,
Sonya Deville, 27. Definitely get a heel in the towards the end of the match. Shotzi came out number 28. Now this happened so quick. Like I know there's a lot of action. The camera cuts are everywhere, trying to keep track of everything. So when she came out in her tank, she had a mask on. Was that supposed to be Leatherface? Because when they showed her, she came out, she ripped the mask off really quick. And I was like, I couldn't see what it was. Was it Leatherface? And
Michael Myers or Leatherface or something like that, right?
I thought it was Leatherface.
It might have been Leatherface. Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I know she's a big horror fan. So I was thinking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're in Texas, wear the Leatherface mask. I thought, Then
McAfee pops me again with, that tank, she has a missile, and it's ready for her to use it if need be. I was like, if they could time that damn missile to nail someone, like it would be cool if she would have fired him and eliminated someone who was like on the top rope.
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
But that would be like, oh man, that would be perfect. Bing, she's a bump.
Bullseye.
Yeah, rather than butt, just boom.
Take out Lacey Evans, who's in the military. So be like, I don't know, just could be like, it'd be like, they could have a little war or something. That's the new War Games match, hitting with arrows and Nerf guns and stuff. Number 29 was Nikki Cross, comes running, sprinting down Ultimate Warrior style to the ring. It was great. And then number 30, Nia Jax, and they kind of botched her intro, right? So what happened? I had my head turned on Twitter. Did they show her name first, or?
So I think they showed her name first, and then before the 10 thing kind of concluded, and then she came out.
Gotcha.
I'm not for most girls.
Looks like she's back in the company because they had a T-shirt on WWE Shop. So when you got new merch, you're back in the company. So. She played up the heel role, the boost from everyone, and called out everyone in the ring. And then they all gained up on her, and she overpowered them. And then I like her and Raquel, squaring off. Raquel tried to power or body slammer, but then Rhea came in and hit. Oh my god. What's her finisher? It's late at night now.
Pump handle. She had a body slam. Well,
yeah, tried to,
but Nia didn't go up well for that one. And
yeah, I like to play it on is the fact that Rhea's been in the match for almost an hour at that point, so she is tired. But she riptide. She hit a riptide on her, and then they threw Nia Jax out of the ring, and so
I personally was hoping that you give Raquel the body slam.
Okay.
Then Rhea hits the riptide, and they both grab Nia back of the hair and throw her over the top rope, because we'll get to the finish of the match, who I felt should be the final two. But, I thought that would have been a moment for them too, because those girls are the future right now, when it comes to the women's division, in my opinion. So,
yeah. So when we got down to the final three, it was Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Asuka, which I was excited for. And I like how it kind of turned to a triple threat at that point. But yeah, Raquel got eliminated a little before that. Let me see. I had the order here. Let's see. Rhea Ripley, eliminated Raquel. So that was cool. But yeah, so the finish here, I liked what they did here. So they're on the outside. Asuka, blows the blue mist towards Rhea Ripley. She ducks. Liv Morgan takes it, and then she's blinded. And then they're all like out there on the ropes, and then the three of them, they're on the apron, and Rhea eliminated Asuka, and then Liv, since she's blinded. I like the suspense. Like Rhea's holding on to the ropes, and her feet's almost touching. But she raises herself and gets her feet over Liv's head, and just flips Liv out into the outside, eliminates her, and Rhea wins the Royal Rumble. So what'd you think of that finish right there?
I thought the finish was very compelling, because I was like, "There's no way that I got suckered." I'm like, "Okay, they better not be putting Liv Morgan over this match." And I give Liv credit. She did a hell of a bump off that apron right to the floor. That was pretty good. But I still think it should have been Raquel and Rhea. And not necessarily a long match like Cody Rhodes and Gunther had, but something similar where it's like a little back and forth. And I thought Rhea, wins, and and then when Rhea eventually, I believe, is going to win the title, at WrestleMania, like a future opponent will be Raquel Rodriguez. Gonzalez, whatever her name is now. I just again, Liv Morgan, I just don't believe her, so
yeah. But
it was a very compelling finish, and I thought the whole women's Rumble itself overall was fine, but I thought the finish ended up being the best part of it, obviously. So
yeah, absolutely. And out of the two, who does Rhea challenge? I'm guessing Bianca Belair.
I'm guessing Bianca too. Raw side.
Yeah.
Though,
go get revenge on Charlotte. There is history there with Charlotte.
There's a lot of history there when, because Rhea was supposed to win that match originally in Tampa Bay. This was 2020, because of the pandemic. It was the first one, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when WrestleMania was at the PC. Yeah, they wrestled there. That's right.
She was supposed to win it there, and this was supposed to be her moment, but politics got involved, and Charlotte won. And then even when Charlotte lost the belt, she really didn't lose, be the one that took the fall to Rhea.
Io
won it with the moonsault and on Rhea, I believe, and pinned
in
Rhea.
Your house. Yeah.
So could this be the make good of Triple H now? Be like, no, I'm crowning my girl, So there could be that. Or there could be, I have a feeling one of the matches might be a multi-woman match, with Bayley, Becky.
I wonder, would they do a triple threat with the the three remaining 4 horsewomen? Kind of like sticking it to Sasha Banks for leaving. Be like, all right, here, we're gonna let them, have a WrestleMania match. The 3 remaining members go at it. So I could see that for Bayley, Becky, and Charlotte. Bayley and Becky, their feud continue when they both got eliminated back to back. We're on the outside fighting each other. So
there's gonna be a women's elimination chamber, right? They have to do 2, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's right.
Does whoever, I guess Rhea should declare before then, so whoever she's not wrestling, the winner of that women's elimination chamber should face whoever Rhea's not wrestling for the title, right? So
that's right. Yeah. So did you see that?
I was kind of surprised. I expected Ronda to be in the Rumble.
Me too, but you know what? The reports were like she wasn't happy with some creative lately, and who knows what her status is with the company.
She was. It felt like to me that she was kind of done. She was over it, but I thought like the pacifier. Why don't they have her and Shayna be tag champions and let? I know.
It writes itself. Let them become like the female 2-man or 2-woman power trip team, go on a tear and be damage control for the tag titles at WrestleMania. I think it writes itself, but it was the rumor was supposed to be Raquel and Ronda at Royal Rumble, but it got bumped to that episode of SmackDown where Charlotte came back. Yeah, so it's unfortunate. I don't know what Ronda's future is. So maybe take some time off, figure things out. We'll see what happens for her. All right, so main event time for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. It was Roman Reigns defending against Kevin Owens. The match itself was good, but obviously what happened after match was the big story point here. So we could jump right into it. Anything from the match itself that just kind of stood out, basic just a Roman match.
A very good match, I thought. Everyone was fantastic. I tweeted out right after the finish, before that big angle at the end, just Roman Reigns is on another level as a worker. The presence, to carry himself, just the little details in his facial expressions. He hits every emotion he needs to hit, every facial expression he needs to hit. Like, he's amazing. And I no disrespect to the Will Ospreys and the Okadas and all those guys that will dominate Wrestle of the Year awards. But how can you not vote Roman Reigns as Wrestle of the Year? He deserves that. I mean, he is the man, and he's fantastic. Yeah. So
let's just go ahead and jump towards the end. So KO's getting beat up. Sammy's telling him, "Stay down, stay down." Roman goes for a spear and sends KO crashing through the barricade. Throws him back in the ring. And then Roman twice smashed KO's back on the steel steps. That looked painful, dude. Like, I know KO was trying to protect his head, but that looked painful, brutal. Just boom.
I mean, there's no way other than protecting your head so you don't really knock yourself loopy
into it. Yeah.
Severe brain damage. You have to take the bump into the steps with your back, and that can't feel good at all. So he did it twice, man. Oh my gosh.
And threw him back in the ring and then hit the spear and picked up the win. 1, 2, 3 for the pin. Retains, but so let's go ahead and jump to what happened at post-match.
Yeah.
Incredible storytelling here. So the Bloodline are all in the ring. Jey Uso's, about to welcome Sammy into the Bloodline, but Roman stops him. Oh, give him the he was gonna lay him. Is that the term, right? Get laid?
He was gonna make him a noose or a Bloodline member, right? A family member.
Roman stopped him, said like, hold on. Instead, the Bloodline just starts beating up Kevin Owens, taking him out. Then we see, they put him in the corner, put the chair around his neck. Solo hits him with the running hip attack. Paul Heyman brings out a couple of handcuffs. They handcuff him to the ropes. There's the Usos taking turns, super kicking him over and over and over, just beating the crap out of him. Sami Zayn is, he's like standing there and he's like, his body language hunched over and he's like worried and it's like trying to put hand signals like, no, stop. Like, it's just, he's, seeing his former best friend, whatever you want to call it, just taking his beating. And he looks so sad and scared and worried. I mean, the facial expressions were awesome. And then, Roman takes a chair and he's ready to hit him. Sami Zayn stopped him, and Roman's like, what the hell? What's going on? And he's like, this is below you. You don't need to do that. Look, he's already out. You won. And he's like, okay, if this is below me, hands the chair to him. It's like, you do it. And I was like, oh my God. And God, the reaction of him, he's like, this moral dilemma. It's like, do I follow the orders or do I like save my friend? I mean, what'd you think about that up until that moment right there? Just the anticipation of the decision he's going to make.
All great. All this stuff is very good. You know, we kind of anticipated the Darth Vader, you know, saving Luke Skywalker moment, Return of the Jedi. Sorry if you've never seen Star Wars, but Return of the Jedi, you know what I mean? Like we all felt that was going to happen somehow, some way. And we got it here, and it was very good. I thought everyone did a great job in it. And we'll get as after you're done describing what the whole closing scene.
Okay,
I just had 2 critiques that I thought could just add it to the drama.
Yeah, it's a good point. Kevin Owens playing the role of Luke Skywalker, Sammy, Darth Vader, Roman, the Emperor. Yeah, making the save. I love that analogy right there. And I like how, you know, Sammy's holding the chair and Roman's like walks in front of him and Sammy's behind him. And the crowd starts saying, Sammy, Sammy. Then Roman turns around and Sammy's still kind of hesitant. So I like how they really stretched out for time, like the anticipation. Finally, Roman turns around again. And then Sammy winds up and whack, hits Roman in the back. Very reminiscent of when Seth turned on Roman in the Shield and Dean Ambrose. Same thing. Roman falls to his knees and he's like, oh, what happened? And it's like, a good callback to when the Shield broke apart to Seth Rollins and all that. So, but this time around, it's the opposite role reversal. Roman's the bad guy. Sammy's the hero now. He hits him, and then, you know, the Usos and everyone's like, what's going on? What the hell? Jimmy or Jay, or, you know, or Sammy tells Jay, like, I'm sorry. Like, I had to. I'm sorry. Because they're like bros now. They're like super tight, even though they did a 180 2 months ago. So, God, the emotion, Jay just gets in the corner and he's like shocked. Like, what the hell's going on? This guy that I vouched for and saved on the trial this past Monday on Raw is now turning against my blood. And then, you know, Jimmy comes in with the super kick. Solo starts beating him up. Roman gets up and starts beating the crap out of Sammy with the chair. And he's like, how dare you do this to my family? And takes the flowers from the lei and just like throws it on him. Jay's confused and Roman wants Jay to jump up and, you know, jump in as well and beat him up. And he's like, no. And he rolls out the ring and walks away. He's so confused now. He's torn. It's like, yeah, I became close with this guy, but he's turning on my family. So he's torn. He's like stuck in the middle or doesn't know what to do. So he just leaves. Sammy and Kevin are just laid out there. What a visual. The bloodline walk out and they're all like, I think the camera caught Roman telling Solo, like, no more prisoners or something like that. So just what an amazing conclusion. Like, I was blown away. Just like I said, the emotional roller coaster I went through. I was like, it's like watching a movie and you're like, what's going on? Oh my God. It was incredible storytelling there. So yeah, please tell me about your couple criticisms though.
Well, real quick before I get into that, I just want to say I love the Sammy, you know, doing the Darth Vader moment. And the icing on the cake, I think, was as they're just swarming Sammy after his betrayal, right? Or his, you know, protection of his friend. Reigns is losing it. Solo's just the monster. Jimmy is losing it as well. They're just beating the hell out of Sammy. And you're so like focused on that, you almost forget that, you know what? Jay's not helping out here. And the camera pans to, why isn't Jay helping out? And you see the confusion, the torment, inner torment in him. And just when you think this story, all the twists are done, Jay slides out and walks out. I thought that was unbelievable, right? And you talk about long-term storytelling. This all started with Jay being the whipping boy of Roman
at the start of his title reign.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And though Jay didn't trust Sammy at first, they had the bond, and he's seeing what Sammy did to Roman is something inner side that he always wanted to do himself to Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's seeing Sammy get beat up, and now he's tormented because there's part of him that wants to be with his family and go with the family, but the other part of him, like, was Roman's done is not right, and I needed, I want to step in. I should step in too. I just love that part of it. My only criticism, and this is small, I'm getting I've noticed a lot of feedback on Twitter. Everyone's focused on the wrong thing.
Okay.
My two criticisms that put this from very good to an all-time classic angle is that when this is all happening and they have Kevin Owens just handcuffed and they're super kicking the shit out of him, all that, no one is helping. I'm talking about officials, referees, maybe some other wrestlers, the lower card guys trying to help out. They have enough officials that can make like a big security, right?
Mm-hmm.
The chaotic scene, the Bloodline has the high ground in the ring. They could kind of fend off people trying to, and people trying to kind of come in and stop them. You could play with that. It just adds more to the realism. When there's no one coming out, it just looks like
no one cares.
Like a performance. Why doesn't anyone care in the back that this guy's getting freaking murdered, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I felt that blood here really would have added to the drama. Seeing KO bleeding, and just could add to like, oh my God. I mean, I don't know if that's me, but everyone kept focused on the blood. Oh, I don't need blood. I'm tired of blood. Blood's an old wrestling trope, And I'm like, honestly, I don't mind. I don't really need the blood. But the main thing that was missing, I thought, was the chaotic scene on the outside of people trying to desperately help KO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I felt was just missing that realism. Like, oh shit, this is a serious situation.
Mm-hmm.
This guy needs help, and Roman could be like, after they kind of fend people off, Roman be like, hold on, just relax. Nothing's gonna happen to this guy anymore, right?
Yeah.
But then, you can still do the whole thing he did with Sammy.
Yeah.
With people, I don't know. That's my little critique. But I thought it was really well done. All in all, it was very good.
No, I'm with you, and can't wait to see what happens next. I know we're running long here, so let's just in conclusion, just wrapping this up. We'll just curious to see where they're gonna go next, how they're gonna get to Elimination Chamber. It's in Montreal, so hopefully Roman versus Sammy's there. How they're gonna get to WrestleMania, what matches can they create from this? That's yet to be seen. And then the other thing is, okay, where's Cody Rhodes fall in all this? How's he gonna get inserted into this Bloodline storyline at some point and make it compelling? They got 8 weeks here, so I'm sure post Elimination Chamber we'll probably see that get into high gear. So, oh man, overall, like that conclusion's so good. I want to watch it again right now and just fall in love with it all over again. So it was so good. So good stuff, man. So I'm excited to see what they do next. It's going to be awesome. So on that note, let's start wrapping things up. Thank you everyone for listening to this Royal Rumble review. John, where can the Kliqsters find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at LaRoccaJL, and just hit me up on there and let me know what you think. Do you think they needed a chaotic scene with the security and the officials trying to make the save to add to the realism of the show? Do you feel blood could have added to the dramatic presentation at the end? Let me know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
And I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram at Baby Huey 83. Subscribe to In The Kliq. That's KLIQ, wherever you get your podcasts at. Follow us on social media at In The Kliq. If you want to email me, inthekliq@gmail.com. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line, because Huey said so.